dear students. My name is Muhammad Numan. How are you, my dear students? I hope you will be fine. Welcome to Advanced English Grammar. In our today video, we are going to talk about here these 3 points: a sentence, a phrase, and a clause. Although we had started the classes about the verb, and some classes we had taken about the verb, but a verb has also a phrasal verb, which is the kind of the verb. To know about the phrasal verb, first you have to know about these 3 points: a sentence, about the phrase, and about the clause. When you get these 3 points, after that you will be able to know about the phrasal verb. So let's know about these 3 points. First, we have to know about the phrasal, about the sentence. What does it mean, a sentence? And from where this word, a sentence, is derived. Sentence is not an English word. Keep in your mind. It comes originally from the Latin language, and it was called sentire or sententia. The sentence is derived from these 2 words: sentire or sententia. Then the sentire or the sententia, then it was converted into the German language. And these words, sentire or sententia, they were also used in a German language in the same word, sentire or sententia. And later on, it was converted into Old language, Old English language, and thus it was called a sentence. And what does it mean, the sentire or the sententia, which means feel or someone opinion? Whenever someone expresses the feelings or the opinions, he uses a sentence to convey his message. Whenever someone wants to convey his message, he uses the sentence. Now let's talk about here the definition of the sentence. A group of words which give us a complete meaning is called a sentence. It gives us a complete meaning. For example, the child is eating rice. We got the point. We understood in a better way what someone is talking about. And let me tell you one thing here. A sentence has 2 parts: a subject and a predicate. What does it mean, a subject and a predicate? Subject, the doer of an action is called the subject. But there are mostly many sentences, they do not perform, they do not do any action. There are many sentences. For example, he is fine, He is in America. Here, someone does not perform, someone does not do any action. As we said, as I told you, the doer of an action is called the subject. But here, no action is available. He is fine, no action. We are just talking about the existence or the condition of someone. He is fine. He is in America. We are just talking about the existence or the condition of someone. Here is no action, no activity is involved here. So what will be the complete definition? The doer of an action is called the subject. This is although correct, but for some extent. Not complete definition this is. The complete definition will be the part of the sentence about what or whom we are talking about in a sentence is called a subject. Now here we are talking about the child, so the child is a subject. Now here we are coming to the second part of the sentence. The second part of the sentence is a predicate. A predicate tells something about the subject, and a predicate has a verb and an object. A verb shows an activity, an action, and an object, it receives the action of someone. The receiver of an action is called the object. So now this area, this topic cleared. Now we are talking about here what is a phrase. Let's talk about this term. A group of words which makes sense but not a complete sense is called a phrase. Remember this point here. A phrase does not have a subject and a predicate. It stands itself. It gives us a sense but not a complete sense. It requires, in other words, some other words to complete its meaning. For example, at the table in the room. At the table. If someone says at the table, so I will ask the question from him, what does the mean of this sentence? At the table. What is there? At the table. The confusion, the ambiguity will be there in my mind. What he is talking about. I don't know exactly. In the room, although a little bit sense, a little bit meaning came in my mind, but not a complete meaning, not a complete sense. It requires another sentence, it requires another words to complete its meaning. So this is called a phrase. These are the examples at the table and in the room. Now we will come to this point. What is a clause? A small group of words that includes a subject and a verb and form a sentence or part of a sentence is called a clause. Now here a very important point I'm going to mention here. A clause, although it is a sentence, keep in your mind, because it has a subject and a predicate, but it cannot stand alone. Okay? It requires another sentence to complete its meaning. It's called a sentence. It's called a clause. For example, if it rains, the weather will change. If I remove this sentence, if it rains, the weather will change. No meaning is coming from this. No sense is coming from this. So whenever we join these two clauses, these two sentences, so it gives us a complete sense, a complete meaning. And let me tell you one thing here. What is the difference? Look at here. What is the difference between phrase and clause? They both give us incomplete sense, but a clause has a subject and a predicate. Only the difference between these 2 points, a phrase has A phrase does not have a subject and a predicate, and a clause has a subject and a predicate, but they are both give us incomplete meaning and complete sense. And a clause, it requires another sentence to complete its meaning. So it was our today class about these 3 points. After that, we will be talking about the phrasal verb. So share these videos, these lessons with your friends and with your relatives through WhatsApp, Messenger, and the Facebook. That would be very kind of you. We will be making these kinds of informative videos for you. And do subscribe our channel. The name of our channel is Spread the Useful Knowledge. Thanks a lot of you. Thanks a lot.